Nice Guys videos would make sense if I was watching Dark, where it's like Prapor is his own grandson and he had him with therapists. That's the reason behind all of this.
Dude, 100%.
There's actually TK actually stands for time travel.
Time killers. The time killers.
The time killers. And
what's up, everybody?
hey guys, it's the 100th episode. Yay! Sorry, were you gonna?
The
sorry,
100th
say
episode
something?
of the podcast? No, I was literally
Was that bad timing?
That was perfect. No, it was perfect.
Okay.
Welcome to the 100th episode of the Pogcast. I'm so glad we just remembered, and it wasn't. I just was like editing, and I was like, Sag.
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
100. That's almost 2 years. Like, we've missed a few, so we've definitely been doing it for like 2 years now.
That's almost like, it's almost 10% of the life I've lost playing Escape from Tarkov in podcast form.
In podcast form.
Don't do the math on that. Just accept it.
I mean, that's a lot. You know, ours are like 2-hour episodes, so.
Yeah, true that. I remember how you remember, I think we've talked about this before.
Dude, yeah.
But do you remember how?
Yes.
And you know what? Maybe for this, I should go back into like the initial DMs that we had.
My God.
Scroll all the way up. But I had been listening to, we knew we wanted to do a podcast. And I had been listening to like a podcast on how to make podcasts. And like the number one advice, like this guy was so adamant that like your episode should not be longer than 20 minutes.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Like, do not make them longer.
That's
like 15
crazy.
is like. And I just remember I got like 4 episodes in and I'm like, I'm just going to fucking ignore everything this guy's saying. And
But we were trying. We were like, in all of our initial conversations, we were like, let's try and keep it to like 30 minutes. You know what I mean? Like we'll do like maybe 2 or 3 segments, 30 minutes real quick. And we were like, yeah. Let's do it.
It's interesting that it's not like.
And then that just
it's not like
out the window.
YouTube in that like it's people want longer. They want longer. Oh my God, dude. I didn't even have to scroll up super far, actually. It was like 2 pages. I guess because we talk so much in our
the
podcast Discord.
Yeah.
Dude, I love fucking January 9th. I'm not gonna like read the message, but it's super humble. You're just like, dude, I'm a huge fan. You know, like all this stuff. I got kids, I'm married, you know, like fucking A, what a oh my God.
Bro.
What a nice message.
It probably wouldn't
oh my God.
take long to go even like all the way back to like the beginning of like my first message to you was like.
No, that's what I'm at.
Oh, okay.
It's January of 2019. So like 3 years ago. I love your stream. Respect your hustle.
Yeah, dude.
All this stuff, dude.
And I was like, how to stream? Teach me how.
Yeah, now I need to learn from you, man.
You know what you told me is literally exactly what I tell people. Like what you did. He sent me a screenshot of just like twitch.tv/escape from Tarkov, the Escape from Tarkov directory, and there were, I don't know how big your desktop is, but there were like 40 streams, and they all had like 12 viewers. You know what I mean? And you were like, all right, well, how do you? Like, why does anybody pick your stream over any of these streams? And it's just like, I remember you blew my tiny little brand new streamer mind, because like you're always thinking about your stream. I need to make my stream good. I need to make my stream better. I need to get more people into my stream. But it's like, think about the game you're streaming. And so I do the same thing, like live all the time when somebody's like, hey, I'm trying to start streaming Escape from Tarkov. I pull a new tab onto my desktop, I click Escape from Tarkov, and I scroll and I say, let's see how long it takes to get down to the 10 viewer Andes.
Yeah. Keep going.
And then I was like, all right, here we're at the 10 viewers. Do you stream to 10 viewers? And they're like, no, not yet. And it's like, all right, so it's just like, how do you, like, you have to think like that. And I was just like, holy cow.
Dude, and you were asking me, and at that time, I had been streaming for 8 months, I think.
Which is nuts.
Yeah. I was like, I'm still a baby. I'm still a baby at this. I want to see, though, where I And then, dude, okay? Now this is throwing a fucking throwback. You asked me what camera lens I had. Have we gone full circle? Have we gone full circle, dude? Last week or the week before, right before the stream, I was asking you all kinds of questions about. Fucking hey, dude.
That's so funny.
Like, what the hell?
Bro, you hosted me and I sent you a paragraph. Oh my god, this is like so funny going back and reading this stuff. But
I followed you like 2 days after that first message, and you were like, "Dude, oh my god, thank you!" Oh god, dude, time
insane. It's crazy.
Whack.
It's crazy. Because I mean, yeah, I mean at that time, on January, I was like 3 weeks into streaming.
Damn.
Like when I said that first message,
how far,
I was like,
how far
yeah,
you've come.
I was like 3 or 4 weeks into streaming. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm trying to find. I want to see if I can find the conversation that we had about, because I think I had said that I wanted to do
Twitter, and I was like, hey, I'm thinking about starting a podcast. Like, can you be my first guest? And you were like, I've been thinking about starting a podcast, and I don't want a guest. I want another host. Do you want to be my host, co-host? And I was like shaking. I was like trembling. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, I said I want to do a podcast. I've wanted to for a while. I don't want to do it myself. I want to co-host, and honestly think about everyone else on the earth. You're probably my first pick. If that's something you're interested in, if you got your own plans or ideas, totally don't worry. I'm not going to I said step on your swag. I don't know what the fuck that was. I'm not going to step on your swag, bro. Yo, bro, I'm not going to step on your swag. The fuck, dude?
Don't step on my swag. Don't you dare.
And then, yeah, so that was March of 2020.
Yeah. Yeah, so
here we are. I want to go back.
Here we are, April 2022, 2 years later.
Dude.
Nuts. 100 episodes deep.
And I've
Still
stepped
no
on your
streets of
swag.
Tarkov.
Yeah, true.
Bro, that's so funny. That is
man.
wild.
So, how have things been for you recently?
Oh, good. Out of control.
Busy boy.
Yeah, out of control. Yeah. But I mean, it's the life I chose with 2 children and streaming and YouTube. But it's like I feel like I haven't breathed. I haven't taken a breath in like 6 weeks. But it's good. Dude, good.
We played a new game,
dude,
a little bit yesterday.
Holy cow! We played some Marauders yesterday. That was so much fun. Yeah,
it was a lot of fun. I do have to say, like, after you left, it slowly kind of petered off into it. Got like I started the day with negative $2,000, like literally negative, because we found a bug where if you repair, it doesn't like actually check if you have the money.
So you can just repair anything?
Yeah, so I ended up just like, and I wasn't even looking at the costs. I was just repairing all the armor I had. I was like, oh, I've got, and then I had like a few guns and no ammo, and I couldn't buy the ammo, and I didn't have anything to craft the ammo, so I literally was going in and taking what was on the fucking little shelf
on
that
the
would
shelf.
spawn in. Yeah. But yeah, so Marauders is basically it was in it's in, I don't know, is it alpha?
Mm-hmm.
Like closed alpha access.
Yeah.
You can think about it similar in concept to Tarkov in that it's a looter shooter, but the whole premise is that it's basically like an alternate history.
Yeah.
From from our like timeline where I don't exactly know, but it's effectively like, World War I, World War II, and then like at some point between then and the 90s where it takes place, like people went out into space.
Yeah.
It's I think they call it diesel punk.
Yeah.
It's very like it's kind of like steampunk, but a little bit more industrial.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
But picture if you just Google bathysphere, like those old
submarines.
Submarine. I forget, but they're like the deep sea fucking vessels. Like it's kind of like that, but in space.
Yeah.
And I think there's some like justification for why they have like space technology, but at the same time like World War II weapons, because you're dealing with mostly World War II weapons.
Yeah.
There was some later ones.
That's all. There is a lore, there is a timeline, where like, and you said this, you brought this up like when we were streaming, like the whole TV show, the concept of the Man in the High Castle, where like the Nazis won World War II and just like what that would look like. And there's this whole just like World War I never ended, and because of some sort of, I don't know if it was like climate or some sort of event, pushed us more into developing space travel than like developing technologies.
Oh, is that what happened?
Earth.
I missed that.
Yeah,
okay.
so it's like, so then we're basically forced out into space, and like at this point, everybody that's out in space, there's no allegiances. We're all just like every man for himself, and like some people were really like, yeah, like imagine Fallout in space. You know what I mean? Because in Fallout there weren't any red dots. I mean, of course there were like aliens and lasers and stuff like that, but like your first few hours of Fallout, but in space. And like there were some people that were like, yeah, I don't know, man, like if I'm in space, I want like a laser gun. But to me, it was so crazy, like refreshingly new, because like when you put it on paper, like when you like describe it like that, it sounds like they were like, all right, I want to take a little bit of this, a little bit of this, a little bit of this, and like they smash something random. But when you're playing the game, it's this crazy, you're like, is this sci-fi or is this like old school Call of Duty? It's like space.
It never felt sci-fi actually to me at
I mean,
all.
when that time we spawned in and it was like the red planets and the like bursting stars, and you're like, it was just like captivating, and you're like flying around.
It was gorgeous. It just never gave me sci-fi vibes. If anything, like I would picture that if like a nuke went off.
Yeah.
You know, like, and you're in France or whatever.
And it's so like guerrilla at the same time, because like a whole gameplay loop is literally like abandoning your own ship, getting into a space pod that rams into an enemy PvP ship, boarding their ship, killing them all, taking it. So there's like this pirate, like you kind of feel like a space pirate. It just like, when you explain it, it's like if somebody had never heard of Marauders and they're like, what was the game you played? Just the audio of me explaining to that, you'd be like, what the hell kind of game is that? But when you're running around like with an SVD and you just landed your spaceship, like it just felt, and it surprised me because watching it, I was like, oh, I don't know. I mean, okay. But just like, so there was something about getting in there and doing it, and it was like it was fun and it was refreshing, and like, of course, yeah, there were bugs and it was clunky and the UI maybe, you know, needs some work. It's an alpha, literally. It's like this is like the alpha's alpha, like the alpha where it's closed access, invite only, and then they're doing an alpha where the pre-order people get to, like, you know what I mean? We're far from a polished finished product, but for what it was, you know what I mean? Like, my only experience with an alpha is Star Citizen, where like, I mean, like, it's really just a guess if you are ever where you are supposed to be in space-time. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I could be on another planet according to the server and over here, like, but like, it wasn't ever like that. Like, the movement, the only thing that ever happened was just I would get kicked. You know, it wasn't like, oh, it's an alpha, or like people's heads moving independently of their body. Like it was just, it felt good. It was just, the servers were a little clunky sometimes, and
and all the time we played, I had one, it was only today, I had one thing where I like ran out a door and then like kind of rubber banded back 2 feet or something. Literally one case where I mean, if Tarkov had like proper interpolation, all kinds of like rubber banding would happen a lot more in Tarkov. So it's like, but yeah, I mean, like you said, there was a bunch of bugs, you know, nothing like incredibly egregious.
Yeah.
What's interesting to me is, it's almost like, and I'm not going to give any specifics because everybody's different, but like, think about any of the things about Tarkov that you wish were different. This is, the game is at like the stage where the decisions that they make, that the community makes, you know, like, have the chance of shaping things in either direction. So I gave a ton of feedback, showed a bunch of clips.
And they were super open to feedback. Super open to feedback.
There were multiple devs in both of our streams. I had a dev in here today, was given all kinds of feedback. He was giving me he was explaining how like the armor works and stuff. It's in my opinion like the optimal kind of complexity, but with it makes sense. Like, you know, if you have class 10 armor and it has like 55 armor points, then class 10 armor reduces the damage by 10 every bullet, and then it'll soak up 55 points of damage before Like it was just a lot more
streamlined.
I'm sure there's still elements that I didn't understand, but it wasn't like, hey, here's this whack ass algebra function with 97 variables that nobody understands.
We don't show you any of those things,
it.
And the things we show you aren't the things that matter.
Yeah. So to me, the things that I think there's a lot of potential, and the things they need to focus on are the feeling of like the movement and the gunplay.
Yeah,
it was a little clunky at times,
Yeah.
and then the AI in the game. But honestly, like the AI was in almost every way the same as Tarkov's.
Yeah.
Like sometimes they were dumb, sometimes they were ridiculously OP. They would pre-fire you through walls.
Yeah.
They would know you're there when they shouldn't, and then other times they'd walk up to you and you'd like kill one, and then another would run up to you, and then you'd like run away and reload, and you wouldn't shoot you, and you're like, oh, okay. But yeah.
What we need to come up with like a and I don't know if Tarkov was necessarily the first person to do this either, but you know, what is the genre of game at this point where the gameplay loop, like a battle royale, is the gameplay loop is like a certain amount of people drop into a map, that map slowly shrinks, last man standing wins. That's what a battle royale is. Like, what do you call
raid-based looter shooter?
Yeah, like
and
what do you
and RLS.
RBLS. Like, what do you call a game where it's you gear up, you infill, you accomplish tasks, whether that's PvP, PvE, or some sort of external task, and then you exfil? Because the cycle...
Yeah, because like DayZ is like a looter shooter, right?
Yes,
like
DayZ is a survival looter shooter, and so is Rust, where like with those games, the entire point of the game is the in-game experience. You are either looking at a screen that says you died, logging out, or in the game. Those are the only three options. You know what I mean? So, but like, because we had Tarkov, obviously, and then we had the cycle, and we have Marauders, and of course, you know what I mean? Like, you get all the people. Like, I laughed because literally somebody came in and was like, wow, this is, of course, it gets me every time. This is literally copy paste Tarkov
while we're flying through
spawn
asteroids.
in a spaceship looking at like a burning star dying, like shooting others. I was like, dude, Control C, Control V, Tarkov. Here we go. That's Marauders. Like, it's just, you know what I mean? Like, and I'm sure that's everywhere. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure, like when Apex Legends came out, I remember everybody was like, oh, this is just like Fortnite, but without building, you know what I mean? And it was like, no, it's a battle royale made by a different company, Lamau. Like, so, but just like, what is that? Like, I don't know if there's a term for it yet, because I don't know if there was one before Tarkov. I don't know where there was an FPS where the whole thing was about gearing up in an out of menu thing, going in to accomplish a task, whether that's loot, PvP, PvE, or something, and then getting out. But it's definitely taking over. Battlefield kind of did like a... Because the Battlefield mode, remember, everybody said it was going to be Tarkov, and it wasn't. But it is similar to that, where out of the raid, you pick your kit. In the raid, you have an objective, and that objective is to get out of the raid. It doesn't play at all like Tarkov, but it is that gameplay loop.
Gear, or don't you like loot like
you're
VCRs?
Yeah, you're trying to get the VCR, and I don't even know if you can loot other players in there.
I thought it was just like you pick your loadout like you do in COD when you spawn, like you pick your gear set.
Yeah, I mean, you have money and you can use that currency to buy better gear. It's once again, it's not Tarkov. It's a very pared down, but it's a similar concept. I'm hearing, so like there's all these rumblings of like the official Modern Warfare 2, like the next Call of Duty game. Apparently they're taking like their first year off of a Call of Duty game in forever, and apparently all the rumors are that this is supposed to have a Tarkov mode as well. But it's like, I hate that it's all becoming like it's a Tarkov mode or a Tarkov this, because the cycle, we played the cycle, and every third chat comment was like, oh, so this is just Tarkov? And it's like, yes, like
that was Space Tarkov.
Yeah. Like, yes, in the sense of like, it is that same gameplay loop. So like, even when people say that, it's like, yeah, like it is like, that is an easy way if like, I can tell you this game's like Tarkov, and then you'll know kind of what the gameplay loop is. That is the extent of how it's like Tarkov, literally in every other way, shape, and form. It's different than Tarkov, but so I didn't know if we had like a, oh yeah, Hunt is like that. Hunt is like that too. Same thing. You have money, you gear up, you go in, you do your thing, you get out. Hunt is like that too. And Hunt has definitely been the most successful the most successful like game to do it outside of Tarkov. You know what I mean? Like Hunt has a very vibrant audience of people that play it. The game gets updated an insane amount. Yeah. But yeah,
I'm still gonna say raid-based looter shooter.
Raid-based looter shooter. I mean, I like that. I mean, it's, and I hope, and that's the thing. Once again, like when people come in and they're like, "So is this just Tarkov?" You know what I mean? Like, oh, they, you know, literally copy paste. I'm like, yeah, isn't that great? Isn't that amazing? Like, Tarkov is fun, and you probably complain about it all the time. You know what I mean? Like, so other people making games like that is probably pretty dope. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean,
I don't know, like
people complain about it for like weird reasons.
Yeah.
You know, like people don't want to watch. If you know, isn't football just soccer, but you can use your hands? Isn't
dude,
basketball
yeah.
just soccer, but the goals turn vertically and you can only use your hands? Isn't it's like, well then
dude,
watch the one you like and don't watch the one you don't like, or
100%.
don't watch fucking any of them, and then get out of my house. Why are you in my living room?
Yeah.
Who the fuck let you in?
Yeah, we didn't even invite you to this party. You know what I mean?
Yeah, what
like,
the fuck, dude? That's my pizza
and that
you're
is
eating.
such a great. That is such a great analogy. Like, let's dive into that. Like, Twitch chats are like house parties where like people show up and give their super salty opinion. It was like, I left the door unlocked because of all the friends that I invited. That just because my door's unlocked, like you mistake that for an actual invitation that I am seeking you to come into my house and to tell me your opinion about this thing that I love. We're all watching football and you're like, it's just soccer with your hands. And it's like, you didn't have to, like, you know what I mean? Nobody invited you in here. You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, of course I'm trying to get people to come watch my stream, but like, just because I'm live is not a like big beacon that says I am specifically looking for people that hate the thing I love and I want them to tell me about how much they hate the thing I love. That is not the same. You would never just walk into somebody's
you
house.
Fucking barred your front door if you didn't want me to poke my head and say this game sucks.
Yeah,
and
dude,
fucking...
friggin' it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. So, and then it was also so weird how many people were like, like interesting timing that you're playing Marauders when the Tarkov event started. You must hate the event. Did you get that? I got like a weird amount of that.
No, because I hadn't played Tarkov for like a week before that.
Okay, that's actually fair. Dude, I got a weird amount of people that were like, interesting timing of you playing this game. And I was like, dude, you're right. Actually, 4 years ago, I commissioned a game development studio to make a game, and I wanted their alpha to specifically come out at this hour because I knew that eventually Tarkov was going to do a really stupid event. But if I didn't want to play the event, I wouldn't have an excuse. So if this other game came, like, dude, I was like, you got me. It's pretty crazy how I was managed to line that up perfectly. Like, people are so weirdly suspicious.
I mean, we all know it's true. You know what? Maybe fucking Nice Guy did a video on it.
Dude, you know what? That was probably it. The Sons of Soon set me up.
The Jesters of Jesse. Super quick. I saw a video. I've always hated. Well, not hated. No, I've not always hated. I've never really enjoyed.
Okay.
Any of the Battlefield like games.
Oh yeah.
Like they all feel. They've all felt cool. They've all looked great. But like. I just don't have.
Yeah.
You know what it feels like? It's like Tarkov, but instead of the downtime of you're waiting at a menu between raids, so you can actually like fucking watch Netflix or like play Hearthstone or something. You're just spawning across the map and running. So it's like COD instant respawn times, but you don't get into the fight 8 seconds after you spawn. It's 8 minutes after you spawn.
Yeah.
And then it always feels like, you know, as much as I like COD back in the day, it always feels like the one game mode I didn't like was like domination, where there's like A, B, and C. And what happens is, you know, team 2 is holding C, team 1 is holding A, and then they all fucking flank around here. They all flank around here, a couple fight, and then it's like team 2 has objective A and team 1 has objective C. And it's like, oh shit, well now we got to go back, and you just fucking trade. Yeah. Like, it just felt like that, where it was always like a part of the map would always just switch back and forth. Yeah. But I will say that I was watching Clean's latest video on April 27th. It's called "This Will Be My New Main Game."
Is it on Battlebit?
Battlebit. I hadn't heard about it.
I haven't downloaded. I haven't fired it up yet, but I really want to play it. I watched Clean play a little bit of it.
It looks fucking rad.
It looks so sick. It looks fun.
It's basically, it looks like a mixture of Battlefield, and what's the like mill sim, like the hardcore
Like
mill
Squad?
sim? It's like Squad
Yeah.
plus Battlefield. It
Plus
seems like
Minecraft.
a little bit. Yeah, it's like a little more of a hardcore Battlefield is what
Yeah.
it seems like.
Yeah.
But with fucking Minecraft like graphics.
Yeah.
Which honestly, not only is that going to do well for like the performance,
but the destructibility of the environments. It's like I had never considered that, like, as soon as I saw the Battlebit trailer, something happened in my brain where I went, yeah, I would of course trade graphical quality for scale and performance. Like, I'd never thought about that before, because we're always trying to push the limit, right? I want photorealism. And it's like, I love that. I'm glad we're making those games. But I had never considered, like, oh yeah, I would trade that if it meant every building could blow up, there could be 500 people in a server, and it always ran great. I was like, I would freaking do that. Like,
and here's the thing.
It's so sick.
Here's the thing too, like someone already in chat said, like, you had me until you said Minecraft graphics. I can't do that. But when you look at it, all the optics, the red dots and they're all better than Tarkov.
100%.
Like
100%.
they look unbelievable, and like the UI is like modern and it looks cool.
And like, dude, after 10 minutes, I bet you don't even consider it. Like, I legitimately, after like 10 minutes, you're focused on the objective, you're focused on killing people, getting kills. It all, it just blends away. You know what I mean? Like,
dude, all the people are voiping like it's radio comms.
It's insane,
like it's Squad.
dude.
They're like, yo, dog, like I'm bleeding. Can you come help me? And like, it at no point does it feel like a children's game. It's just a different aesthetic. But it looks like, and Clean's one of the most fucking hardcore like mill guys, and he's like, this is gonna be my new main game.
And an aesthetic that it's not even just for aesthetics' sake. Like there's a value proposition for this aesthetic, and it's that the environments can all be truly destructible. It's that the performance of the servers can be really well. Like, of course they've had troubles because they're stress testing the game and people are loving it, so their servers are getting overloaded. But like there's an actual like reason. Yeah, it's more like Teardown meets Squad. That's a better way to put it, because people, you just hear Minecraft. I don't know if you've ever seen Teardown, but
I think so.
Yeah, but it's similar, the like voxel based or whatever, destructibility, everything can be moved. I don't know.
I've seen that,
I want to do it. Maybe we should, like, I don't know how they're doing it. I don't know if it's always up, if they're doing it, whatever, but like maybe next time they have it up, you and me can like hop in, because it looks fun, dude.
Let's play. I would love to do that. I forgot how much fun it is to like play games with people, you know what I mean?
Dude, Marauders was super fun.
It was, and I mean, like, you play with squads or duos a lot more than me, and I think like what happened is I used to play with different people that maybe like weren't the most fun to play with, or they were my friends, so it was more fun because they were my friends and less because I took the game seriously. And then, like, with Tarkov, I got a lot better, and I did much better solo. And then now I feel like it's like turning around where not only is it harder, but I just have less fun playing right now.
I get that sentiment. Like, whenever I checked out the Battlefield beta, like the Battlefield 2042 beta, even though the game sucked and the beta sucked, I played with Deadly and Geeks and Pep. And it was just like, we were just rolling. You know what I mean? Like, and I totally get that feeling where it's like, man, I take Tarkov so seriously, and that's why I love Tarkov. Like, that isn't an inherently bad thing. I love that Tarkov as a game demands that much of me to like really be immersed in it. But then you're just like, when you play another game, you're like, holy cow. Like yesterday, when we were playing Marauders, I was like, someone's like, how much money do you have? And I was like, oh, I don't know. Like, I hadn't even looked, because it was just fun. I was just having fun with playing Marauders with Veritas. You know what I mean? And it was like, that was all it had to be. I was just taking out my best stuff every time, because I don't care, And so...
And it's even different with... Oh, no, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, to go back to like the thing about like Battlefield, I've always kind of thought the same thing too, where it's like you almost need either Call of Duty or Squad. Like, Battlefield was always more objective based, because they were trying to do the big, large scale, huge maps. And it was probably my experience, because I almost always played those games solo and I didn't really know what I was doing. But like Squad feels like there's like a barrier of entry, and because of that, it means the people who are playing want to play the right way, and and then that experience is really good. But I always felt the same way, whereas like Battlefield, I always bought the Battlefield game because their marketing, it was like so sick. It was like destructible environments, huge worlds, tons of players, and everything about that as a player, I was like, that's amazing. And then I got in and I was like, I don't know who to talk to or what I'm doing or where the objective is.
When it's 64 and 64 and it's 63 randos that you're not talking to, and everybody's doing their own thing.
And you're spawning 8 minutes away from the fight to die to the first person you see. Like, I never put more than like 10 or 15 hours into a Battlefield game, but I was buying them all because they looked so fun. You know what I mean? So I totally get that.
I used to love, I just never paid much attention because I wanted to get into like the gunfights because that's the shit I loved.
Yeah.
But like, it'd be so funny how I'd always spawn in and instantly just like beeline for whatever like icons on the radar were like, there's a gunfight.
Yeah.
And then I just see fucking F1s and helicopters.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm like, I don't even know how the fuck. Like, how do you
spawn those?
Do I have to run all the way over? Oh, and the one time I would like run over and get in the helicopter, I go like and flip over and explode. And it was like, okay, well, I guess I'm never doing that again.
Yeah,
yeah. You know? But yeah, I'm gonna. I just looks like I got access to the playtest
of Battlebit.
So I'm gonna have to. We need to give that a try. But yeah, and I think those types of games too would. It's like it's much easier to, I think, to have more fun, because the downside, I will say, to playing a game like Marauders or a game like Tarkov with people is that when one person dies, you have this awkward, like, do I go in and do a quick raid or do I just wait the 10 minutes? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that sucks, where it's like, you know, it's like playing a fucking knockout game as a kid, when if you're the first one to get knocked out, you just sit there and watch your friends play, you know? But like with a Battlefield or squad type game, like you can just shoot the shit while playing.
Yeah.
And it takes the edge off of all this shitty, annoying stuff. And
yeah, for sure. Have you ever played squad?
No, I haven't. Although I have seen a little bit more content recently that's like making me.
There was like a big update, big graphical update, and a big update to the game. And squad is cool. Like I wanna at some point go and try squad again. So squad would be like, you would have to take it as seriously as Tarkov, but failure, like it's like the objective is the only objective. Like when you lose in squad, there is no like Tarkov where you're like, well, now I don't have any money and I have to sell this stuff. I have to go through 14 menus to sell the stuff I have in my inventory to buy a kit. So it's like, it's the intensity and the like teamwork, and it demands a lot of you because it's real and because everybody in the game is taking it seriously. But the objective is the only objective. It's just, and then when the round ends, it's just over. So there's a lot of like potential there. And I need to like, I went into it not really understanding how serious it was, and I was overwhelmed. Because like there's like 4 different radio channels. There's like the people that can talk to the little platoon, and then the platoon leaders talking to their leaders, and their leaders talking to like your whole side's leader, and all of them can talk to you, but you can't talk to all of them. And there were people everywhere, and I was just like overwhelmed. And so I was like, I don't know about this, but it looks like a lot of fun.
And it's so funny because like I haven't really watched. I've only really seen like Drewski, Operator Drewski.
Yeah.
And then like the other day I was watching Shroud, who was playing like after the update.
Yeah.
And I have a feeling that they were all serious, probably RPers or whatever.
Yeah.
And then Shroud was just like, I'm gonna run over here, dude. And like I think they were probably like, go for it, man. Like
you're Shroud.
He just split up completely and was like sniping, and then he'd be like, yo, don't go over there, you know. Like that's just the impression I got, that a bunch of those dudes are probably just like, I don't know what the fuck he's doing, but I don't know. Well, I want to check that out one day, but I almost feel like I need like a Drewski to like Sherpa me.
You absolutely do. You need a
Chef Clean Sherpa both of us.
Yeah. I mean, you need like a group of people, but then like one person Sherpaing you. You know what I mean? Like it's like the ultimate community game. Like if you had like you would definitely have 10 to 20 people in your community that play the game, and you could like once you got into it, like it's so much fun to do that, but it's just overwhelming. So yeah, we definitely need a Sherpa. But yeah, that's fun.
I know we want to go and talk about some of the Tarkov event stuff. Yeah. But real quick, because I wanted this to be short, and I want to like got this out of the way. I don't know if you saw my message.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like it's kind of like worth mentioning real quick. What I mean.
Yeah, I mean, because we brought it up, like it's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had mentioned we were talking about T-Rex arms and like
And
the video.
Yeah.
There's like 1 or 2 videos that have been like Tarkov adjacent. And one of the things I had said was like, I have heard from a few people that he gets a bunch of hate, and I don't know why. And I did have a couple people like reach out to me, and they were like, "Here are some reasons why." And one of the larger ones being that he's posted a bunch of like kind of shitty, homophobic, like stuff. I guess his dad's like and don't like quote me on any of this stuff because a lot of it's hearsay that I can't be fucking bothered to do like journalistic research on this stuff, but like heard something about like his dad's this like borderline cult leader, like super religious, whatever. Anyway, I just wanted to basically say like, oh yeah, it seems like he might be shitty.
Basically, what we wanted to say was that like, we didn't. A lot of people have opinions on them and have may have been offended by what he has said in the past or whatever. He made a good video, and that was the extent of our like stamp of approval. We weren't being like, go buy courses or whatever from TX Arms. You do that research for yourself and decide if you want to. All we were saying on the podcast was we saw a YouTube video, watched the YouTube video without researching, the entire life history of the guy who made it, and was like, it's a good YouTube video, and it brought up cool conversation about Tarkov. And I don't think either of us knew at the time because I was like, I've heard that too. And then some people, made aware.
I got like a couple Instagram posts linked to me, and I was like, oh wow, that's really fucked. But feel free to Google that stuff yourself. Just wanted to mention that.
Just briefly.
I think it's worth mentioning, and I don't want any more DMs about it.
So stop.
Thank you for those who like informed me, and let's move on.
And yes. So Tarkov is on fire right now.
I mean, dude, I can't believe they would have the audacity to ever do anything. I said one of the greatest quotes I've ever said, and there aren't that many, but what I said, and I think honestly it really encapsulates at least what my opinion is as succinctly as possible, which is hard for me to do. It's, you are not entitled to the economy that you want.
Ooh.
You're not entitled to the economy you want. They can and should and will do whatever the fuck they want to do to change the economy, to make things super rare, super common, super fucking inflation, super limited, whatever. You're not entitled to that. I literally wrote on Twitter today because I woke up and was like reading through the things before I even put my fucking contact lenses in. And I was like, literally, and I don't ever like tweet this stuff, but I said I've never been more disgusted with the community than I have been reading the response to this 5-day temporary event. Said I bitch and moan more than the next guy, but the complete and utter entitlement and hysteria might have been some of the worst I've seen, and I've seen some shit. And then I was sure to add a GIF. I just typed ugly crying because that's what I pictured all these people like, oh my God. You're not entitled to the economy you want. But I do empathize with people who are frustrated.
100%.
They wanted to make quest progress and they can't. I am okay with the frustration, and I'm with you on that. I kind of wish they had made it so that you could still do your quests, or even just turn in the quests, like at a bare minimum. Turn in the quests that you have already gotten
and we're working on.
I heard a story of a guy who was like, he had finished the guide, and then is like, well, what am I supposed to fucking do? Like, if it were me and I was like, oh, I'm not playing for the next 5 days.
Scav raids only, boys. Like,
so I can empathize with that. Everything else, people mad about not having access to traders or gear or the flea market or whatever, stop fucking crying. Come back in 5 days.
For sure. And it's definitely like a tiered thing, because what I've been saying is
tiered.
Tiered. What I've been saying is, like, I don't have to like the event to like the event. I don't have to personally love how restricted it is or all that stuff to love that they're doing stuff and shaking up the formula. Like, I love that this is happening, but like, it's annoying, to not be able to do certain things. And I can absolutely empathize with people who I can empathize with people who just, picked up the game. They're new players. I can empathize with people who took a break from the game and just got back. I can empathize with people who, you know what I mean? Whatever. Like, all of that makes sense. But you're exactly, like, there's a line of entitlement that you cross. Like, you know what I mean? Like, of course, we've had this conversation a million times. But, like, people are like, it's kind of like, I just wish that they would, I wish that they would give more time between wipes then if we're going to do stuff like this, because I just started playing the game again a few weeks ago. And I was like, okay, so what's an appropriate amount of time that you think? And do you think that when you'd be comfortable with this event happening, do you think that no one else on planet Earth would have at that point just picked up the game a few weeks ago? You know what I mean?
That
like,
doesn't exist.
Exactly. And people, it's just like, it's just so much bigger. You know what I mean? And there's so many layers to it, and it's so frustrating. Yeah, of course, it's like, I do feel like it's a vocal minority, but it definitely felt like a lot more this time where people are like super frustrated. But it's just crazy. Yeah, we're like, they said from the beginning it was going to be a 5-day event. Nikita, it was literally in the Nikita tweet, 47,000 people liked the tweet. And it's like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, I felt like people liked the tweet just so they could complain when it happened. And so, yeah, just the whole, I don't have to like the event to like the event. Like it. And well, I kind of said this earlier. I was like, if you don't like this event, I don't think you're going to like Tarkov. Because they've said this, like, Nikita has said this at every opportunity he's given to say this. He has said this stuff when talking about the lore, like that he wants events to be super dynamic, how he wants things to randomly become scarce, how like there can be huge consequences and giant global tasks. Like this is technically our first global weekly. Like it literally, like I sent the link, the escapefromtarkov.com/cache, the link that's updating. I sent that to my buddy Adam. I was like, yo, check this out. And the like link thing says community global event. Like the like when it pulls the metadata from the website and it gives you a preview, it says community global event. Like, so this stuff is always what they plan to do. It's always what, but it doesn't mean you have to like every single one. I don't know. It's so weird, man. People got out of control. It's 5 days.
Yeah, and it's, God, it's just like everything else where half of the people are saying, it's actually, the response reminded me of, I don't know if you saw a lot of the comments in chat when I was showing the little preview video earlier, right before the podcast, where half of the people are saying, wow, there's so much recoil with the old guns. And then the next comment is, wow, there's no recoil on the guns. and then the next comment is, wow, the time to kill is so short. And the next one is like, holy fuck, the fast time to kill.
Yeah.
It's like the toxicity and the complaints and even the comments are just all fucking over the place.
Yeah.
Where people are like, it's gonna benefit the Chads. It's only going to benefit the Timmies, the blah, blah, blah. And it's like just all over the place. Dude. Or it's the same thing with the wipe. It is going to be, everything points to there being a wipe. Everything points to them not being a wipe. It's like, maybe y'all don't know what the fuck you're talking about any of this.
The amount of stuff attributed to the Chads is unreal. Like, you know what I mean? Like anything in the world could happen in the game. You know what I mean? Like the cost of green army bandages could quadruple and somebody would say that it's only going to benefit the Chads. It's unbelievable. Like I just genuinely think the people who say that, you think about the Chads way more than Tarkov does. Like, you know what I mean? Like the money is meaningless. You know what I mean? Like it's so funny because this is a money event. Like where, you're trying to get money and it's like, well, this is going to benefit the Chads. I was like, first of all, the Chads have the most money to give away. And I was like, second of all, like, it's just, money is irrelevant to the Chads. Like this wipe, I've seen Rengar, I think Tiggs, I think Smitty Stone and I think freaking Trade 24K have all deleted all of their money cases. Like 0 rubles. I have whatever gear is in my stash, and they all have more money than me again already. I had 80 million rubles yesterday. I put 25 in today to the thing, but it's like money is nothing to them. Like it bothers me so much when people are just like everything is about the Chads. Like you know what I mean? What is it? Yeah, Willis just did it too. I think 2 wipes ago, the last time that the Kappa container wasn't level capped. You know, it used to just be like you could get it at 45, 48. It all depended on how you did the quests. You know what I mean? The last time it wasn't level capped, I think Tobias tweeted out that less than 2% of the community, less than 2% of the players got Kappa. You know what I mean? Yep. And it's like, so it's just like the Chads there are so many less of them than you think. The 100 millionaires, they just all stream, and you see them all. Of course they don't all stream, but it's like you see them everywhere. But it's like, I don't think Nikita and the gang sit down and they're like, okay, first things first, how is this going to affect the Chads? Because all of our changes need to be looked through the lens of, is this bad or good for the Chads? But that is legitimately how a large part of the community thinks these changes are constructed. It's unreal. And not a large part, a small part of the community think that.
As usual, it's because so many people they see things at their face value without actually looking like a little bit deeper.
Yeah.
The fact of the matter is that the Chads, quote unquote, the skilled, experienced players, they are, just by the nature of the design of everything, they are immune to nerfs, to mechanics changes, and to the economy. They're immune to it. Just like, oh, Chads are gonna fucking get destroyed when they get rid of AD strafing. No, they just do different shit better than you do.
Better than you do, yes.
When they remove everything from the economy so that you only have what's in your stash, the Chads have infinite shit in their stash, and even if they don't, they have 10 times the skills and ability to be able to kill you, take your stuff, and kill all the scavs and everything.
100%.
If they really wanted to, like, drain the economy completely and whatever, they would have to completely remove all the gear and loot from, they remove all the scavs, remove all the loot from maps, and I mean, and make it so that you have to pay an armor and a gun toll to fucking exfil. Like, there's just no way it's gonna happen.
No.
So people are like, I don't understand, like, you know, oh, they're doing this so that, you know, all the gear goes away. It's like, what the fuck? Like, I played labs. I played for like 3 hours today. I played labs the whole time. I died twice to raiders. I killed all the PvP I did. I killed pretty much everybody. There was like nobody in there. There was no sus players except for one time, and I killed them. And it was another one of those streamer but never streamed before level 62.
Yeah.
But with like 30 followers. That's never streamed before, but anyway. And all I did was just farm. I got like 7 LEDXs and like 5 GPUs, and it's just going to sit in my stash until 6 days from now.
Yeah.
And I just got armor and guns and whatever. So the fact that you can't get it from I didn't get it from the fucking flea market, and I didn't get it from the traders anyway.
Yeah.
The only people, 100%. You know.
And like I had somebody come in because I was wearing a Zabralo and a wrist tee. I was playing with Vrelian today because I have that stuff in my stash, right? Like somebody was like, man, I really was hoping this event would get rid of the Chads. And I was like, in what universe? Like, dying is more impactful than it's been in a while. Because, like, let's say that this is the only LPVO that I have, the only voodoo. If I die with it, I can't buy one on the flea market. I can't buy one from Mechanic. I don't have any more. Dying means more. So I want to maximize my survivability. Like, what do you mean you thought that Chads would go away? Like, people are bringing out their better stuff so that they can survive the raid more. You know what I mean? Like, so I didn't understand that. And then it always goes back to, we have talked about this on the podcast many times. But like, you need those type of people. And once again, I know it's a small subset of the community, but they're just an annoying small subset of the community. But like, you need to remember that like, you are linked to the Chads. Like, we all play the same game. So anything they make easier for you, they make easier for the Chads. And anything they make harder for the chads is disproportionately harder for you because they're better at doing all of the things. They're better than me. Like Rengar, I lose 10 out of 10 fights against all those guys I named. Smitty Stone, Rengar, these guys are better than me 100%. And so it's like people, now we've talked about rested XP before, and I think that's a great idea. But if we're talking about in-game mechanics, it's if they make money easier to get, it's always framed through, well, makes it easier for chads because they can have more money. And then if they make money or gear harder to get, well, this just hurts the new player and the chat is unaffected. It's like, yeah, because that's how that works. You know what I mean? Like the game is always, you can go in, kill somebody if you're better than them and take their stuff. So you're linked to the chads. We are one. When it's easier for us, when it's easier for the new player, it's disproportionately easier for the chad. When it's harder for the new player, it's disproportionately harder for the new player. So it's like, shut up. Like not everything is framed that way.
You can kind of think about it like it's almost kind of like taxes, but there's not a progressive tax rate. It's like when imagine that you're going to pay 50% of your taxes. Yeah. If you make $100 billion a year, it's still a shitload of money, but you still have $50 billion a year, right? Yeah. If you make $10,000 a year, you're only paying $5,000 in taxes, but you have $5,000 in the year, right? So it's proportionately the same, quote unquote, but it's not equivalent.
No.
So I mean, like I said, chads. The experience, I fucking hate Chad, the phrase Chad. It's the experienced players, they're just immune to all of these things. Yeah. Now, here's the problem. And it's where, again, I can kind of understand. It's like I feel like the frustrations are missing something or they're short-sighted. Having this event for 5 days, that to me is what disproportionately affects the inexperienced or new players. It's the length of time. If it was for a year, then everybody would they would eventually run out of scopes and LPVOs and level 6 armor. Like eventually, even if they die 5% of the time, they'll play enough raids and it'll go away, right? But instead, 5 days, I've got enough guns and armor in my 100%. Stash to last me the 5 days, even if I die in every other raid. So, but the thing is that if you were the one that would buy like an L can once every other day or, whatever, and now you can't buy it, well, all you have is a Vepr or a bunch of guns that you took the pistol grips off of to make more space and sold the pistol grips, and now you can't use.
That's where I'm at.
So like I get it, but it's the 5 days that it's one of those things. Like the 5 days doesn't make it doesn't do anything for the people who have tons of stuff. Yeah. But for the people that don't have anything, that relied on traders, they're kind of fucked. But again, the experienced players don't rely on the fleet or they'll buy like the laser that they want.
Yeah. But even that actually like affected the chads or the experienced players differently. Like I was watching Landmark last night, and Landmark is traditionally a guy that keeps very little gear on hand and buys everything for his kit. And like he was running around with like level 4 armor and like Donger AKs because he was like, I don't have anything saved. He's got 200 million rubles and he's like, I don't have anything saved. You know what I mean? So whereas I am definitively worse than Landmark, but I played all day today and wasn't affected at all because like, and it's also sweet redemption because people come at my stash all the time because I'm a hoarder. I'll at any given time sometimes have like 4 slots open in my inventory. That's it. The rest is like all of my stuff and my loot that I want to keep. And because I play that way, even though I'm not nearly as good as some of these other people, I was not affected at all by this. I have ammo cases of every ammo that I want. I've got gear, I've got guns, I've got stuff. And it's like, you don't have to play as much as me to play that way. This event definitely confirmed my play style because like we said, like this is just the beginning for sure. Like stuff like this is going to happen all the time where you never know what's going to happen like towards the end. And so I get hate all the time. Dude, my chat hates how I loot because I'm always leaving behind technically more value. If you divide a Gen 4 up by 12 cells and it's 1,700 rubles per cell, you should get the armor and you should take the stock and the thing and then the laser, and you should put all 3 lasers on the thing. But I leave that behind because I'm like, yeah, but I'll use the Gen 4. And now I'm unaffected by this event. You know what I mean? Because I have everything I need, so I don't know.
It's the same thing. So remember how we were talking about how annoying and inconvenient it is to have the individual player limits on items. Like, you can only buy 12 MP7 mags. Like, that's annoying and inconvenient because it means that I can only use the MP7 for like 2 raids, and then I just need to switch to the other gun I've got 12 of, and then buy the ammo and the mags. And it's just that, but a little bit more. It's more inconvenient because today, like, I had to switch a few more times between some guns. But I still had 5 billion rounds of whatever. It just, I just didn't have a voodoo to put on my my decked out gun that I got off of a dude with an Alton, and I took his fort and his Alton. And
so I get it. I get the frustration. And a broken record. Of course, I'm sure you were the same thing all day. I don't care. And I mean this in actually like a loving way. Like, I don't care if you hate the event. You're like, welcome. You're welcome in my chat if you hate the event. Like, your opinion on the event doesn't matter to me because of how different our experience is. I remember how brutal it was my first few wipes at Tarkov. And it's probably more brutal now because the skill gap was lower. There weren't as many people. There weren't as many amazing people back when I started playing. Like, everybody's experience is different. When did you start playing? How long have you playing? Have you been taking a break? How much do you get to play in a week? So if you don't like the event, I am totally a-okay with that. It's just the, like you pointed out in your tweet, the entitlement of what I hate is saying why, when people are like, well, they're just testing this. And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, how do you know? Like, what do you mean? So when people say that they know what the event was like specifically testing, or that it was specifically to hurt a group of people or specifically to help a group of people, like when you cross from, I don't like this, into I hate that they theories. X when I Y, and it's like whoa, like we if you don't and if you don't realize that that's a line that gets crossed, woof, dude, you need to learn. But that's what's frustrating, you know what I mean? So it's like, so I don't care if you don't like the event, I get it. Like they're not dumb. Like, Nikita knew that they were gonna get probably this level of hate. Nikita knew people were gonna be pissed. They're just doing the thing. They're doing exactly what they said that they've been gonna do. They were gonna do for forever, and I actually love. By the way, I love. So let's switch over to like the lore of what the hell is happening, because I love this stuff. We talked about, like, I freaking love this stuff. So basically, through all of the notes and the random stuff that we've been given, and I don't know the order and what time of day this note came and who translated it, but basically, the Lightkeeper, the Lighthouse Trader, is really powerful. We think it's because of his connections to the cult. Powerful enough to scare away the traitors and extort us and basically be like, if you want me to relinquish my power and allow the status quo to continue, I demand 1.5 trillion rubles. So the traitors went away, which is why, even though I understood it was so brutal, which is why I was kind of glad that the questing stopped too. I get it, because I don't have any quests, so you can tell me that I'm a Chad elitist. But it's like, they're not there. It's a lore first event. Like, they are away. They do not want to deal with us as PMCs because they are afraid of the Lightkeeper. So that is what's happening. They are gone. Fence is still here. We don't know why. I heard a conspiracy theory that the Lightkeeper is Fence, that it was him all along, and I was like, that would be nuts, because the Fence has connections with the cults too, I'm pretty sure. Anyways, that's conspiracy. This is all fucking hat.
J.J. Abrams lost retconning.
I love it, dude. I love it.
5 seasons later.
So that's what's going on. So the traders are gone. And then the cash website. So the escapefromtarkov.cash was just how much money they were scamming us by, because the scav case turned into just taking our money. Which I don't know if you saw. They added a 100 million and a 500 million option. Like you could turn in 500 million rubles. I was like, who? They did that for like 2 people. Like one of the Tarkov billionaires was like, hey, make this easier for me. And they're like, sure. So that website was just how much Tarkov was taking with some cryptic Russian note. And then it was how much Tarkov has been taking and an amount that we're shooting for, which we this morning revealed to be 1.5 trillion rubles. And then today, the note on that website updated to an English note that basically said verbatim, when we hit this number, the traders come back. Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? So it's definitely very interesting.
Yeah, but are they going to wipe?
Bro.
Dude, that's another thing that I don't. The other thing that I don't understand, and again, I'm gonna say this once, and I'm not gonna fucking repeat it. I don't care if people. I don't fucking care if people like misunderstand. I'm not saying they aren't going to wipe. I don't know. I don't fucking care. Neither does Jesse. Well, he might care, but I don't care, and I also don't know. But I forgot what I was going to say. There was such a passionate like preamble to me. Historically speaking, the biggest like indicator of a wipe, the only indicator we've ever gotten is they do events that's basically like, y'all get everything you want.
Yes.
Money is infinite, gear is infinite, like, woo, go for it. They just flood it so that people ostensibly can experience everything that they could want.
Yeah.
The madness for 3 to 7 days or whatever, and then they wipe, right?
Yeah.
Never before have they been like, we are going to take everything away from everybody and then wipe and ostensibly give you basically more than, like, I don't know, it just doesn't. It's one of those things that, again, I'm not saying that they aren't going to do it.
Yes,
but,
exactly.
But like, it just doesn't follow that they're going to be like, we want to suck all these stuff out before we suck all the stuff out.
Yes.
Like, and what? I'm sorry, what?
That alone, like, it's not even just that it doesn't follow, because they've done a lot of brand new things this year. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they've done and I hate when people take it with that. Like, they've done mid-wipe events. Like the Halloween event, was not a we're going to wipe event. The dehydration event was not a we're going to wipe event. They've done a lot of events where they've just like a few days something happened. They've done multiple Raider on Factory event. Just 3 weeks ago, we had Tagilla on Interchange and Raiders on Factory for 3 days.
Wipes coming,
But then when an event happens, it's always like, well, they only do events before they wipe. Or the other guy's like, no, they don't do that anymore. They do this now. And it's like, and there's an acknowledgement that they're sometimes in the middle. They're doing new things all the time. So just because they haven't done this before isn't even enough evidence to say I don't think it's going to wipe. But it's secondarily that it just doesn't make sense. That's the thing for me, is it's like, yes, they normally don't do this. And if they were going to try something new, what the hell is the reason? It doesn't mean they don't have a reason, but I can't think exactly that. And I tweeted that yesterday. It was like, why? Because it makes sense to flood the economy before a wipe, because you give, like, I remember the first time that happened. The first time I was a part of a wipe where everything was $1 and the Raiders were everywhere, it was like, oh, I got to wear a Gen 4. You know what I mean? I was like, oh my God, I got to kit out. I've watched Warren kit out this M4 100 times. I've never had one of these M4s. This is sick. And it makes
the Chads all got bored.
Yeah, and it makes you excited to like get into the next wipe. So that makes sense to me. It doesn't make sense to piss off the entire community and to, vacuum suck literally trillions of rubles out of the economy to then wipe.
Well, so the alternate theory that people, I guess, think is like 900 IQ is this is the wipe. It's like a soft wipe and blah blah blah. It's like, if that's the case, then 6 months, like, I'm uninstalling the game because like we can't go a year.
No,
like like it just, this 5-day period, all it does is wipe level 3 players.
Yeah.
We will all still have, dude. I don't hoard money. I don't even really hoard gear. The only reason why I ever have shit is because I'm too fucking lazy to flea market. I've got 5 junk boxes, not because I'm a hoarder.
Yeah.
Because I I need to like wait until I have like a fucking doctor's appointment phone call and I'm stuck at my computer and I can just sell stuff because I'm bored.
Yep.
Because I just don't want to do it on stream because it's so annoying and clunky and inconvenient. And I only have like 3 million rubles.
Yeah.
And it doesn't affect me at all. In fact, I doubled my money today just by because nobody was playing labs and the cheaters have like nothing to do because all the little Timmies that would normally fucking buy RMT shit from them, they've stepped away. So there's no market.
Yeah.
So
the market
it just doesn't make sense that it's a soft wipe because they won't even do that. Maybe if it was a month and they got rid of raiders and rogues and bosses.
Yeah.
Like if they want to do a wipe, whenever that is, fucking 4 months from now, whenever, if they want to do a wipe, and also then for a month after the wipe, there's no traders, there's no rogues, there's no raiders, you can't get into labs, and there's no bosses. Can you imagine how that month
it would be nuts?
Would be, and then after that, the next month is everybody's got level 1 traders.
Yeah.
And no flea market and no rogues, maybe just bosses. And then the next month would be now we've unlocked traders 2 and 3. And you know what I mean? Like that would actually have a noticeable impact, but you can't let people get to level 70, get a bajillion rubles and then be like, we're going to make it annoying for you to get shit for 5 days.
Yeah, exactly.
None of it makes any sense. They're just fucking doing some lore to fuck with you and to test out to see how the economy and whatever reacts to different things.
Yeah. And I agree.
Everything else is just Nostradamus, nice guy,
it's just us adding on to things. Yes, it's like I feel like there's a term for it, but like you see something and then you like retroactively create a reason for that thing to have existed. You know what I mean? Like, and that's kind of what it is. It's like I feel like they probably have like a laid out plan where they're like, we want to do this. We're very aware that this, and this, like it's not going to affect these people. We just want to see what happens, or even we don't want to see what happens. We just want to do this so that we can have this fun thing and it's building towards something. Like we still don't know how this ends. Like we don't know if this ends with the lighthouse expansion or not. We don't know if this ends with the trader being there or not. We don't know.
Watch nothing happens. The event just ends and then it's like nothing for a month.
Completely back to normal and the wipe is in July. You know what I mean?
And it might have been nothing. And even then it might have been nothing. And for a month, people are going to say, I bet you it was for this, or I bet you it's for something coming in the future, or it was for something in the past.
Or I was right and the community just messed it up. Like I was right. This is how they wanted to do it, but like nobody would do it the right way or whatever. You know what I mean? And it's like, it's nuts. I don't know, man. I don't know.
And you know what? The best part is that I don't give a fuck. So whatever happens, boys. I'm just there's there was somebody posted. Oh, it was ammunition. Did you
that
see
meme? Yes,
dude, it was
so
fucking
good.
It was gold.
It was so good. The
she
dude
responded,
just like smoking in the background, dude.
It's like you gotta love Battle State Games, and it's 2 panels. It's one panel where it's like 2 chicks seeming to like fist fight at like a party. And one of the girls, it says, people who think turning off traders ruins the game. The other girl, like punching her in the face, is people who think turning off traders is fun. And then the next panel is a dude, and it says Battle State Games and me, and he's just fucking lighting a bong, like
just like in the background, watching the fight.
And dude, his stance too is the best part of that. He's just like he's like all into it. He's like fucking ready, like dude. Oh, it's gold.
It is
gold. I'm tossing that in chat.
It's so good.
Because that's top 10.
Yeah. So it's dude, it's out of control, and it just like ruins it for me. Like the love of like being able to watch this all happen and unfold, and I love the lore and I love the craziness, but it's just like, you know what I mean? It's so overwhelming with just like how much made up stuff happens.
Hey dude, so I just got here and I'm sure you've been asked probably at least 5 or 6 times. What are your thoughts on the event?
I love it. I mean, at this point, that's.
Do you think they're gonna wipe?
Yes.
Are they gonna wipe? I mean,
yes.
Thursday. I heard Thursday.
The plan is to just say yes to every question.
Oh no, I fucked up.
You sent them.
The link wasn't wrong. It was a YouTube link plus a Twitter link. Sorry, chat. I think it was the YouTube link to clean.
Oh, the Battlebit thing plus the.
Yeah, the Battlebit play. I think I copied and pasted it and then never hit enter. Anyway. But yeah, dude, I just got here. Just wondering what do you think? What are your thoughts on the event?
Yep, it's great. It's just good. It's just good. It's just really good.
Did you watch fucking Band of Brothers?
Yeah. I'm 6. There's 10 episodes. I think I'm 6 episodes.
Shut up! No way!
Yeah.
Yes!
Yeah.
Dude, that's my fucking birthday. It's your birthday present to me. What do you think so far?
I mean, it's incredible, of course. Like, it's really, and I always knew that it would be. You know what I mean? It's just.
Oh yes.
It's crazy how how many famous people are in that show. Like randomly, like James McAvoy shows up for 1 episode, and like Seth Rogen is in, or not Seth Rogen, Simon Pegg is just like randomly in it like twice.
I don't know who the fuck are any of these people, but I don't know.
Right, there's a lot of famous people in Band of Brothers.
I mean, there are people that like I recognize.
Yeah.
But then there's also like, I had never seen a ton of those actors.
Yeah.
Before, you know, although I see them after.
Yeah, the main guy, I watched Homeland, and he was in the first several seasons of that as the main character, and then in the show Billions, which is also really good. So.
Oh yeah, I love. I don't know why that just reminded me of both Saving Private Ryan and Interstellar. Spoiler alert, I guess, if you haven't seen movies from 150,000 years ago. But like, the best part when I watch Interstellar is like 100 minutes in, all of a sudden it's like Matt Damon.
Yeah, yeah.
What, dude? Like, how did they get Matt Damon in for the last 13 minutes of a movie?
Yeah,
like, you were like, well, I'm sorry, what? And then, you know, the same thing for Band of Brothers, where all of a sudden it's like, Private Ryan is Matt Damon all along?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
what the fuck?
Yep.
It's just so funny how it's like, you just don't expect.
Yep.
You just don't expect it.
Yeah, it's like, I thought we stopped introducing characters. We're almost done with this movie. Yeah.
You'd think he'd be on like the poster, you know, for the movie, but they like cleverly just didn't put him in any of the fucking marketing or whatever. Yep. Yeah, you never. I mean, maybe, you know what? This is kind of a crazy theory.
But maybe after the event, Matt Damon is the new traitor.
Matt Damon.
Yeah.
Imagine.
Nice Guys video mentioned it. As I figured out.
Nice Guys. Dude, did you see? I mean, I don't know if you watch. I love Nolan, and he's a meme lord. But
no,
like,
I love.
Yeah.
I love.
Did
I love
you
Nice
see
Guys
his
too.
newest video?
No,
like,
I can't watch him anymore, dude. I can't watch him anymore.
Apparently, a traitor's gonna die. I think like that's there's a theory that like one of the traitors is gonna die, and like imagine if Skier just died, and you like Skier is no longer a part of the game. Like Skier.
Yeah, you know what they do?
Skier
They
is
just change his fucking JPEG out for a polar bear on the island. And then there's a smoke monster.
Oh, the polar bear. God, man. We never freaking figured out why.
Polar bear? Not a polar USEC, a polar bear.
Oh. We never figured out why there was a polar bear on the island, was there? Did we?
Wait. Yeah, we did.
Did we?
On Lost?
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Why?
Do you remember? Okay, I'm not going to get into it, but you remember how way later on they, like, teleport fucking was it Saeed? Like he like, oh no, maybe it was Ben, I don't know, but one of them like wakes up in the desert.
Yes,
like that's how he like gets off the island or whatever the fuck.
And then, like,
I don't know.
Wasn't there a polar bear out there too?
And they were like, yeah, they found a polar bear. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, that was the
we can't get into the fucking, hey guys, this is the Lost summary cast 37 years after the fact. It's like, I used to have this shit all plotted out on like a fucking,
really,
like Dark, where I had to look at the 17 parallel fucking timelines. If Nice Guys videos would make sense if I was watching Dark, where it's like Prapor is his own grandson and he had him with therapists. That's the reason behind all of this.
Dude, 100%.
There's actually TK actually stands for time travel.
Time killers. The time killers.
The time killers, and it's all Have you ever heard of Time Crisis? Coincidence that
I
Crisis
think not.
also sounds like K? Dude, I'm on.
Freaking. Yeah, I don't know.
I'm losing it, dude.
I love it. I love how much I love the conspiracy and the lore, and I love how much you don't, and I just love that dynamic. It's so great. I feel like we always like finish. We talk about the Tarkov things that you and I like are super passionate about and agree on, and we always finish the conversations. I'm always like, yeah, and did you see like somebody thinks this, or what about this? And you're always like,
What? Sorry, what?
I freaking love it, dude.
What if I told you that polar bears were brought to the island by the Dharma Initiative, who kept them in cages at the Hydra Station on Hydra Island? According to Pierre Chang, because polar bears possess keen memory and adaptability instincts, they were prime candidates for studies in electromagnetic research.
Yes, but that is definitively something they made up after they forgot to come up with a real reason. Definitively. With how early they showed us the polar bear and how big of a moment it was to like set in us like, wow, this island is crazy.
Yeah, it was all retconned. Like everything that happens in Escape from Tarkov. They do some shit and they're like,
Yeah.
hey, how can we fucking tie this back in with the other thing?
I actually think that the lore of Escape from Tarkov is more cohesive than the lore of Lost. I truly believe that whole thing fell off the rails. Well, actually, what I heard with Lost was that like J.J. Abrams and the Bad Robot Gang like only wanted to do like 3 seasons. Like they wanted to stop, and like whatever network they were on like basically forced them to keep writing. So they were just like, there's polar bears and
it was all retconned.
Smoke monsters and
that's the problem, because let's just say there's a world in which all of that shit was basically just like, we're gonna make it mysterious and we're gonna throw some random shit in there. Put a fucking polar bear. Nobody will know why. Fucking, we don't know why. Whatever. And then 4 years later, they're like, oh, we can. They're doing research. Oh, that's why the polar bear was there. And maybe originally the monster was gonna be like a fucking Demogorgon.
Yep.
And then all it was just like a from outside behind the fucking trees moving and stuff. And then later on, they fucking were able to make it be whatever the fuck they wanted. You know, like Fate is the smoke monster, or whatever the fuck. But it was also John.
Yeah.
But like, let's say that was the world we lived in. People would still say, but on episode 7, if you broke down all of the consonants and replaced all of the vowels, shifted them one vowel over, it actually said the polar bear was in all along because the Dharma Initiative, blah, blah, blah. So they clearly planned it.
Yeah.
You can fucking retcon anything you want, pigeonhole anything you want into whatever. And no matter what happens, everybody is going to do that for whatever the fuck they predicted.
Yes.
People are going to figure out a way to justify it.
Yes.
Or even the people that were right by accident
will
then basically be like, I know that maybe Nikita, here's the thing. It's the way it seems like to me is Nikita puts some shit out and he probably goes on Reddit and sees everybody's reactions and predictions. And he's like, oh, yo, that's a good idea. I didn't even fucking think of that. I didn't even,
and then somebody goes, I was right. I knew it.
Exactly. Dude, the podcast I was listening to, the Adventure Zone, the podcast I listened to, the Dungeons and Dragons podcast, people they were talking about it on the latest episode I was listening to, where they were like, yo, I read some fan theories about the shit I'm going to be doing in the future, and thank God, because I like way better than what I was planning. The DM was even like, all of the theory crafting everybody's doing, like, thanks, I'm taking notes. I rewrote the whole fucking thing.
That's
you know, like,
so funny. Dude, and I love the transfer of information, the telephone game. Like, I don't know if this came from a content creator or if it was truly like just a random game of telephone. But I saw somebody post on something when someone was like, do we think it's going to be a wipe? And somebody was just like, it would be interesting if they did shorter wipes now, like 4-month wipes, because, you know, everything they had said was that like they wanted to get some newer Unity versions to like speed up development. And he was like, it'd be interesting if like it was a wipe and they were doing that and we were going to just get so they could do more stuff in. And then 2 days later on a comment on my Twitter was like, I heard they wipe every 4 months now because they're going to do stuff quickly. And it's like, I don't even think the guy who originated that idea, all he was doing was like, wouldn't this be interesting? And then it gets to my chat or my Twitter where it's like, they're only wiping every 4 months now. And it's just like, where was the transfer of confidence that started with like, maybe this is an explanation, I don't know, to like, bro, let me tell you what I know that you don't know. And it's like, it's just the confidence that I don't understand.
It's the pestily meme of Thursday that has now transitioned into everybody saying Thursday, Kappa, as just a way to dismiss the people who just like, he doesn't know.
Yeah.
When they're like, oh, when's the wipe? When they just ironically don't know how fucking stupid the question is.
Yeah.
And then the end result of that is someone comes in and when they hear you talking, they're like, wait, it's not Thursday? Like, they're not even kidding. They're like, I thought we were just all talking about how it was Thursday.
Like,
Tarkov didn't wipe today.
Yeah.
Like, what? Hey, guys, I just got here and Tarkov didn't wipe. Like, what? Is something wrong?
Yeah.
Like, what? No, there was a fucking oh, God. Someone sit him down.
Somebody. Dude, clips of the way. I go on a rant about my feeling of something, and then I always just tell my minds, I say, clip it, ! This, and I just don't answer the question anymore. You know what I mean? It's like...
How often do the people not watch the clip?
Oh, well, yeah, of course. I mean, my stream title today was, I don't know what's happening in Tarkov, and neither do you. But it was still just like, hey, what do you think is going on?
You could have made the title, you're not reading this right now.
Dude,
and it would have been equally
that's such a good stream title.
You know what the best one? The best one is that when like one of the mods will say, like, someone asks a question, and then one of the mods will say, hey, at this person, ! Command.
Oh, yeah,
and then the bot responds with the command, and then they do ! Whatever. Then the bot's on a cooldown, so nothing happens, and they're like, it didn't work.
Dude,
it's like, read one message above you.
The one you're tagged in, bro. Dude, that happens. Dude, at this person, ! This, and then they try. Oh my God. That's such a funny, like, niche thing, but I find that so funny because that happens all the time. All the time.
Yeah. It's just streamer things.
Oh, that's, yeah. Have you watched Severance?
No.
You should.
All I've been watching is Cops.
Watch Severance.
I'm going through all of the...
What if I said I'm not going to finish Band of Brothers until you start Severance? Just one.
I'll watch it this weekend.
One episode is all I like. I just want you to watch one episode.
I'm gonna send you a message on like Saturday, and I'll be like, "What the fuck was the name of that thing you were telling me?"
Yeah.
Because I won't remember, and even if I write it down, I'm not gonna remember where I put it.
Yeah, I get that.
So I'll
really
ask you,
do.
and yeah, but me and my wife were on a fucking mission, dude. There's a guy.
Okay.
We refer to him as Fence Guy.
Fence Guy.
He is a, like, what do they call it? Like a fucking white rhino or whatever. He is, is that the phrase, Chad? White rhino? What's like the super rare?
Like a unicorn?
Yeah, but real. A white whale,
maybe?
I don't know. Anyway,
narwhal.
Great white buffalo? It's not the great white buffalo. What the fuck? I'm not making any sense, chat, but 7 people all said great white buffalo.
Wait, why did so many people say that?
Yeah, like, what the actual fuck?
It's the great white
by Ted
narwhal.
Nugent.
This is the expression. The great
I think it's white whale.
Narwhal.
I think it's
white
whale.
Referencing Moby Dick, yes.
Yeah. Anyway, that's me and my wife's fucking white whale.
I understand yeah.
We're trying to find there's one particular cop.
I thought we were like describing the man, like he's one of those white rhinos. So I couldn't get my head around like white whale, like he's our white whale.
Dude,
we're looking for him.
They arrested a great white buffalo.
I think it was called Tiger King is what you're looking for. Okay, so there's a cop.
Yeah. Now, there's like 854,000 episodes of Cops, right? Like there's just so many.
Oh, yeah.
It goes all the way, like, we're watching them in they're using like ham radios and
Dude,
shit. Like,
yeah,
we're all the way back.
1977, like is what
The
it's.
cop cars are like the square, you know,
old Crown
like fucking,
Vics.
yeah, the OG Crown Vics. Anyway, this guy, it's across like 2 seasons, and it's the same guy, but in 3 different episodes.
Wow.
Every time, have you watched Cops?
I have seen Cops, yeah.
You know how like it's just a common thing where they go to pull someone over or, you know, a pedestrian, and they just run.
Oh,
and there's always
yeah.
a fucking chase, and the camera guy is somehow keeping up with like the cop. Like unbelievable. It always amazes me how like
It's Usain Bolt with a camera.
yeah. Whenever I get a chance, you can see like in their glasses or in the reflection, you can see like the camera guy, and sometimes the camera guys are like fat and out of shape too, and you're like, how the fuck did you keep up? One time I saw him and he had like the bare forearm. I'm like, that guy, it makes sense how the fuck he was. Anyway, but this cop would get in a fucking foot chase. The guy the perp would jump over the fence. He would try to jump over the fence and fail, and then decide his only way past the fence was through the fence. 3 separate occasions, the dude would just be like,
And just
just
freaking
like
ram
ramming like
through the
a
fence.
picket fence, dude, or a chain link fence. He couldn't jump it. He would just be fucking like trying to get through. And one time, dude, it's the greatest thing. And we've been looking through every episode to try to find Fence Guy.
Oh my God.
There's one episode where the dude is fucking trying to kick through the fence as hard as he possibly could. And then one of his other cop partners rolls up and opens up the door right next to him and walks through and like runs through it. He was trying to kick down the fence for like 30 seconds, and the dude ran over, unhooked the thing, opened the door, ran through, and then closed it. And the guy's like, oh fuck, and then just like ran through the door. It was the funniest. It's the greatest, and like nobody talks about this. It's the greatest moment in television history.
Wow.
And nobody talks about it. Nobody's ever talked about it. And me and my wife have been watching, and every time we see a cop that like we recognize, I'm like, oh, is that Fence Guy? Like, oh fuck, I recognize him.
Or every time
Is
you
that
see a
Fence
perp
Guy?
jump a fence, you're like, is this it?
This is it. No, but dude,
That's so great.
it's fucking amazing. And once I find it, I'm gonna screen cap it
Yeah.
and I'm gonna show it to you. We watched like, well, I watch maybe 5 episodes a night. My wife falls asleep exactly 2 arrests into that binge watching thing, and then the next time I get in bed and we start watching Cops again, we have to start halfway through the first episode.
Yeah.
So I've seen the same guy get arrested like 17 times every time.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's why I'm not watching Severance, is because I'm on a fucking mission to find Fence Guy.
All right.
And as soon as I do,
I understand.
then I'll be back on this fucking train.
There's 4,000 episodes of Cops.
Yeah, and we've bought them all.
Wow. I mean, Cops, that's a great show to, just throw it on, because there's unlimited episodes and it's constant entertainment. You know what I mean? But yes,
Yeah.
I am watching
And,
Band of Brothers.
I'm so fucking happy, dude. Have you got, I forget the order of everything. Have you seen the Bastogne episode? If you haven't, if it doesn't instantly come to you, then you haven't.
I
yet.
just watched the episode. Where they were holding the line in the cold, like super spread out. They needed reinforcements. What? Is that the episode? Okay. Well, I don't know the names of the stuff, the like places.
Oh God.
Was that the one? Okay. Well, that's the one I watched last night.
Yeah. Fuck. Oh,
Yeah.
Shit. No, it's just. Damn it. Like if you've seen it, if you've seen it, you fucking heard of it.
No.
And then you just described like.
I think I just watched.
Yeah, they're just all. It's like really cold. Maybe Maybe there are 2 episodes. Maybe that's the reason why. Is there 2 episodes?
Maybe
Maybe that's why. Because when was there like shrapnel and shit, and like it was all hell broken loose, or was it just like they were freezing their fucking tits off?
Oh
in
no,
the woods?
the one I just watched was the one following the doctor, where it was like literally 58 minutes of
where they
only
have
watching with one eye open, because you're just like, oh God,
There was the scene with I think Donnie Wahlberg where he's like all of a sudden everything goes quiet while all these explosions are happening, and he's like, it was that moment that like I remembered the 4th of July
Oh,
as a kid, and you see him and he's kind of like laughing,
dude,
while people's like limbs are getting
Dude.
fucking blown off and everything. Yeah, that was
dude. I don't get how, I genuinely don't get how people like watch those shows over and over again, because like I'm very contemplative when I watch shows like that. Like when like I've only seen Saving Private Ryan like once, and it's amazing, but like it makes me, I spiral like in my own
your
mind.
mortality becomes fucking front and center in your
100%,
mind. Like, oh
dude.
yeah, I'm
And
just a bag
like,
of flesh.
And that it's not only that, it's that, it's like, holy cow, like, yeah, these are the parts that make me tick, and this is what, like, people survived some of this stuff, but then it's just like how different the world is, and how similar the world is, and like how I just like I go deep in my brain, and like, and it's like I don't know if I would consider that entertainment. You know what I mean? Like it almost like feels
it feels like
it feels important.
Reality
yeah,
check.
exactly. It feels like important. Like I need to watch this show, but I don't think I want to rewatch it. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, see, like I can't watch it like I can watch fucking Cops over and over again.
Of course.
I go back to it probably every 4 or 5 years.
And like get that
for like a reminder.
Yeah, which is understandable.
But it's like similar to Saving Private Ryan, where like when you see the old.
Oh my God,
Private Ryan,
I cry
with the blue jacket walking through what's the fucking National Cemetery?
Arlington.
I'm assuming it's Arlington. I'm probably ignorant. But it just fucking gets me, dude. Every time it's like, and like one of the things for me is it does a lot, right? It does a lot, but it makes me think twice. Whenever there's like a rude ass dickhead old man, or just driving or whatever, I'm like,
I'm saying,
I just have a new
yes.
level of respect. When I see
100%.
people, I didn't wonder why, but it always just seemed a little, not weird, I don't even know how to describe it. And this is when I was like little, where you'd see someone and like, why do these guys always have like the Korea War hats or the World War II patches? It's like, yeah, good for you. And now it's like, oh, now I fucking get it.
Dude, 100%. 100%.
Like, that's basically just, and it's not like an ego thing. It's not like you're saying like I'm a different breed, but they are.
But they are, yes. And
yeah,
for sure, man. For sure. It's crazy. And yeah, I just go, yeah. But it's obviously so good. Like the parts, the parts that I freaking tear up in every episode is the first 30 seconds when it's the real guys talking about it. And I like, it doesn't matter what they're talking about, just like seeing them talk about it. Like I wouldn't be able to talk about it. You know what I mean? Like I wouldn't be able to talk about it without weeping, and then to just like see them just like so mad.
Do you watch it alone, or do you watch it like with the wife? Or
I watch it alone at 1 a.m. It's in the dark. And I just like weep.
When you finish, talk to me. We'll talk about it. I'm assuming you're gonna finish by next week.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll talk. Yeah. Now I gotta go back and watch it too.
Yeah, it's so. Yeah, it's very good.
Did you see the I brought all this up because we were talking. I think I was talking about. Spears versus.
Oh, the
Sobel.
leadership. Yeah. Like in the.
What was that in regards to?
I don't remember.
Was it like managers, or was it like Nikita, or was it like Drats and Chads? I don't remember what the metaphor was.
I don't know.
Someone will probably.
But yeah, I get
BSG management.
I get that now. Seeing that, like that was such an interesting thing for the first episode to deal with. How like Sobel was like a really good trainer because he gave them a common enemy and it made them the best, but like that didn't translate to him being good at what he was supposed to, like, you know what I mean, out in the field, you know, like that was super interesting.
And have you seen? Oh well, if you saw the out in the fucking woods of Bastogne, then you probably saw was Lieutenant Dyke.
Yes.
Like, where's Dyke? Was that? I don't know if that's been
which one is he? There's so many names.
The guy that everybody's going, where's Dyke? And he's never fucking there.
Okay.
That might be, I don't know, I feel like that was in the Bastogne.
Yeah. Is he the guy that...
Vauxhall Norman, yeah.
Is he the guy that got
That's after?
Shot by the friendly? No? Okay.
No,
yeah.
This is like...
Okay.
Yeah, okay, that's after.
Okay, I'll just keep watching.
And then have you seen, you probably haven't seen Spears then. Oh, that's right, because Spears is after. Okay. Yeah, we'll talk next week, because then you'll understand, because when I was talking about BSG management, the new guy they hired, I'm like, I have no idea if he's a Sobel, a Dyke, or a Spears.
Gotcha.
And you'll see Lieutenant Dyke and then Spears afterwards, and then finally the triumvirate. You will understand the metaphor.
Yeah, I got
Dude, if you want to understand my metaphors, you just have to watch a 10-part miniseries on fucking Netflix.
I get it, dude. It's worth it. Yeah, I'll have it done. Yeah, I'll have it done. Yeah, but yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah,
it's very good. And it was just like an interesting concept. Like I knew, obviously, like I knew it was like about World War II and this and that, but like I didn't realize, I didn't realize that it was specifically about paratroopers and how they were kind of like the first group of like a paratrooper force. And just like, there's that, you know, there's a line, I think it's leading up to or in the Bastogne episode where, oh yeah, Jimmy Fallon showed up in that episode.
I don't know. It's just like, hey, dude,
here's the ammo, and you're like, it kind of ruined it, bro. Delivery guy. It kind of ruined it because
he must have been like, yo, Matt Damon, can you just like fucking put it in there?
Yeah,
like,
dude.
You know, just give me a little cameo, dude,
bro.
Just, like, fucking.
Oh, but I think in that episode that he was like to Winters, he was like, you guys are gonna be surrounded. And he was like, we're paratroopers. We're supposed to be surrounded. And just like that reality of like, holy cow, you know, you've seen World War II through the lens of D-Day in movies and in history books and all that stuff of like storming the beaches of Normandy. But it's another reality to like jump out of a plane when people are shooting at your plane, to land in the dark, in the middle of nowhere, way back behind. Like anybody you see could be your friend or trying to kill you. And that was like a holy cow type of moment. You know what I mean? And to be the first of your kind, the first guys doing this, you're just like, I hope this plan works, dude. Like,
dude, and it didn't. And see, that's the thing, is that like I've seen a bunch on like the paratroopers and all that kinds of stuff. I want to see like an alternate history where it worked as intended. Like, what were you going for?
Yeah.
I want to see 80 of them all land in the same field, get together, and then, like, what are you going to do? You know?
yeah.
But instead, it was like one guy lands in a tree, and he's like, oh, fuck, running around, and all he's got is a knife. You know, like, it's just fucking... Actually, you know what that reminded me of? One of my favorite games of all time. Holy fuck, I missed this game. Medal of Honor Frontline, I think?
Oh.
Did you ever play it? I think it might have been a PlayStation 2.
Yeah, I remember playing the Medal of Honor games back in the PS2 era.
Well, so this one was, I just remember the thing that always stuck out to me was you'd have like your papers. It was like this flip out little thing with like, so you'd walk up to like a Nazi and you were like in uniform and they'd basically say papers, please. And you'd be like, you'd drop your little thing and they'd be like, all right, go by. But it's all like low, you know, fucking PS2 graphics or whatever. But I just remember like sneaking around, and I mean, that's what it felt like. Like there was there's a scene, and I probably like am combining these memories in my head, but I don't know if you've gotten here yet. I think this was in the beginning where don't they like kill some horses on a train track or like a little road at nighttime?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, and like one of them kind of goes a little rogue and just fucking lights them up, and they're like, chill out. Yeah. So there's like a level in one of the Medal of Honor games, I swear, where you like just have a knife and a pistol, and like you have to like shoot somebody on like a carriage or a car or whatever, and it's like you're creeping around and all you have is like a compass and your fucking fake paperwork, and that game was so fucking good.
That's
dude.
crazy. That's crazy.
I need to play that again. And I was watching one of Epos Vox's latest videos, and it was something like PS2 emulation might be better than, and I'm like, holy fuck, PS2 emulators? They have those? I'm gonna go back and play the OG Tony Hawk, not the remakes. I want to play Gran Turismo 3.
Yeah.
Like I need to play all the I need to fucking get a PS2 emulator.
100%. Yep.
Oh.
Yep, dude. Gaming on the PS2 days. What a time to be alive.
Oh my god, I remember just getting home from school and I've just been thinking all day long, I want to go fucking finish like
bro.
Not Banjo Kazooie. What's the other one where you're the fucking
Crash Bandicoot?
Crash Bandicoot. Like I want to finish Crash Bandicoot. I want to fucking just I loved video games so much,
dude.
Man,
100%, man. I remember Kingdom Hearts 2, Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2. I played that a ton. Played Gran Turismo 3.
Oh, dude, and I played like 4 sports as a kid. And I was good at them, but like not, nothing amazing. But I just remember like all I wanted to do all day long was get home and like play more of the game that like I'd been playing. And I would get home and I would dread, like my heart would be sinking knowing that 35 minutes after I got home, I'd get picked up by my friend's mom and with my friends to go play football or to go to baseball practice. It's like, I don't want to I don't want to
play games.
I just want to play fucking GoldenEye for more. I want to play
Armored Core.
I used to skip school when Grand Theft Auto 3 came out. My friends wouldn't let me play it. They had the PlayStation 2. They wouldn't let me play it. I would just sit and watch. But their house was like with my next door neighbors. I would just come and go, never knock on the door, whatever. I stayed home from school 2 days in a row, sick, so that I could go to their house while nobody was home and play fucking Grand Theft Auto 3.
Oh my god!
With my memory card, so that nobody would
never know. Dude, memory cards. Holy cow!
Did you play Dreamcast?
A little.
The memory cards were fucking Tamagotchis.
Yeah, dude. Oh my god.
Blew my mind.
Yeah. Yep. And they were like, 100 megabytes. You know what I mean? Was a memory card.
Tamagotchi byte, like
dude. Unreal.
Dude, did you ever do the endurance? This is like so off the rails. I don't even give a fuck. Did you ever do any of the endurance races in Gran Turismo 3?
I don't know. I mean, like I played Gran Turismo 3,
there were like
but
100 lap
I was
races.
a kid. Like I don't remember anything I did in Gran Turismo 3 other than just like race cars to try and make money to race more cars. You know what I mean? Like,
dude, I can still remember the exact path I would take. Like buy the Suzuki, and you put the turbocharger on the Suzuki, and that'll get you basically to like this level, where then you can buy like the base level R34 Nissan Skyline that like. And then you put a turbo on that and like put these springs and these tires and you have 1,200 horsepower. And you can you'll end up going way straight. You can't steer and you'll hit every wall, but it doesn't like penalize you. So what I ended up doing, once I'd get to like the end game, I'd like beaten everything, gotten all the licenses and stuff. But after that, I never got to, there was F1 cars in that game.
No.
It was like unattainable to ever get like to unlock those cars, except if you did the endurance races, which if you looked at like, and I'm sure I'm exaggerating and misremembering, but like Laguna Seca 150 laps. It's like it's 3-minute lap for. I don't have 6 hours to do. Like, are you kidding me? But there was one race that, and like the prizes were all like randomly selected from like a pool. But like when you did one of those endurance races, you would get like an F1 car or whatever. There was one endurance race that was like the small CC Cup or whatever, and it was on that oval like NASCAR track, just that really simple one. And I would take my Suzuki Pikes Peak Escudo like it was a one of those off-road like hill climb, mountain climb. It had like a fucking front spoiler. It looked like it had a snow plow on the front, but it was like for climbing mountains with a giant spoiler on the end. And you soup that thing up and it would have like 1,400 horsepower. It would get on a straight. Your speedometer would go 0, 50, 100, 2, 3, 5, 7, 8, 9,000. And it was just like, and it would do a wheelie. In Gran Turismo, it would go, just do it on the back wheel, dude. It was totally broken. But and I got this on GameFAQs. I'd have to go to some wiki to put the spring tuning here to do whatever, and it had no maximum speed basically. And what I would do, I would go to bed at night and be like, Dad, please don't touch what I have set up here. Just don't touch it,
dude.
And I took a kitchen chair, and I take a kitchen chair, and I'd put the little wooden peg of the foot on the X button. And then I would take one of my sister's hair ties, and I would pull the joystick full right and put the hair tie and wrap it around it so that it would be full right with the accelerator down. And I would take this 1200cc Suzuki and racing against like those little 49cc, whatever the fuck they were, like other Suzukis, but like the ones that are glorified scooters.
Yeah.
And if you just full steer to the right with the gas on, you would just wall ride like 400 miles an hour around the 150 laps. So by the time I'd wake up in the morning, I would be first place. And then it was like, I'd wake up in the morning and like go to receive award, and it would go around like a roulette wheel. And it was like, you could get like a Dodge Viper, you could get like a Corvette, or you could get an F1 car. So I would do that every night for like a week straight until like, I got the 1 million credit car. And then you just drive that thing around. It was the only way like 12-year-old me could do it.
That is wild. Dude, first of all, like GameFAQs and all those websites, remember like cheatcc.com, all that insane stuff.
Oh, I was never on that.
That reminds me of, get out of here. That reminds me of on the GameCube for Super Smash Brothers Melee. In order to get Mewtwo, one of the ways was you'd have to like be in an active match for like 14 hours. Like without
probably have to like roll over the integer to like some invalid number.
Yeah,
probably.
Exactly. So like we do the same thing. We'd set up a fight, and you'd set the difficulty here, and you use this character, and if you put them here, that if you fight this character, they can never get up to you. And we would just turn the TV off and leave the GameCube on. And I remember the same thing, waking up before school, checking, and then you kill the thing, and it's like a new challenger has entered the arena. It was Mewtwo, and then if you fought and won against Mewtwo, then you could actually unlock him as a playable character, bro.
Dude, that's buck wild. Holy shit,
dude. GameCube. Dude, I used to do that stuff with like Animal Crossing, like leaving the GameCube on so my town's time would progress a certain way. Oh my god.
I skipped the GameCube kind of. I never got into like Smash. But
dude, the N64 and the GameCube were big consoles in my house. A lot of like
I played N64,
a lot of Super Smash Bros on the N64, and then a lot of Super Smash Bros Melee on the GameCube.
I think I like skipped Nintendo after I stopped playing like Nintendo, I guess, after
the N64.
The N64. I didn't have a Wii, didn't have a GameCube.
Yeah.
I guess the Switch was the first one I had. And then of course now I'm back to fucking playing N64 all over again.
Yeah, the N64 was definitely we did the GameCube, but then after that it was just PlayStation and Xbox basically.
Dude, click that link real quick. This will bring back some nostalgia pangs. I need to do this over again, but
oh my god,
you can see the fucking Escudo dirt trial car.
500 miles an hour.
It would just be like
it's just like flying,
and you just wall ride,
dude.
Oh man,
unreal.
Totally busted. But yeah, that's damn, dude. I need to get a PlayStation,
an emulator.
Emulator. Yeah. Did you ever play Conker's Bad Fur Day?
Mm-mm.
Oh, dude, that is a buck wild game for two reasons. One, because it was like Conker was just a fucking like a squirrel. Like you would think it was a kid's game. Like if you didn't Conker's, he's a fucking squirrel. You wake up and you're fucked up after like a wicked bad hangover. And you're like, I forget exactly what it is. If you're like, it's kind of like, dude, where's my car? You're trying to figure out like how the fuck what happened last night and whatever. and there's all references to like hookers and drugs and all this.
What?
Dude, it's buck wild. And then there's also some like kind of fucked up like multiplayer things that like I'm not even gonna get into it. Like it almost has like a Nazi Germany kind of vibe to it in some of the mini games. But one of the best parts is that the characters are like little teddy bears, and you can like snipe the teddy bears and headshot them, and their heads explode, but it's all stuffing.
That's incredible.
So it's like they replace the gore with stuffing. But then the craziest part, oh yeah, teddies versus squirrels. But like the fucking squirrels have like they look like little old ladies with like scarves over them, and they're just running in like off the beach, and you're just like fucking MG like loading out of these like civilians basically. But anyway, the craziest part is that the sequel to that game was like a 3DS game, and it was Conkers, and it was for kids. It was like explicitly a kids game. Like how the fuck do you follow up Conker's Bad Fur Day with a kids game?
Yeah, how do you
they're
like
probably like,
pivot?
Dad, I want another Conkers game. Like, oh, let's go get this other one. Let's go get. I'm sure this is probably fine.
Oh my god,
it's absolutely buck wild.
Wow, that's amazing, actually.
Oh my god,
dude, old school gaming, man. To just be able to go back to that time for like a while, you know what I mean? Like obviously the internet has brought amazing things to gaming, but there was also just like, you know, your whole gaming sphere was like the 11 friends at school that you would talk about games with, and then Game Facts and the websites. Like that was it, dude. You know what I mean? That was it.
Yeah, dude, it was so much.
There's something about that.
Yeah, so none of my friends actually played like video games. I had one friend that lived across the street. We never hung out really, but we were the same age.
Yeah.
And I remember like I knew he played Super Smash Brothers, and I just remember like I would watch him play it a couple times.
Yeah.
But like to me, it was like every other fighting game. I would just mash buttons, and every now and then I'd win, and my friends would get wicked pissed because they like knew all the combos or whatever, and I would just press B. And somehow it would like
you'd win.
You know, that was like the old school like rat. Like I don't know what I'm doing. I just hit mouse 1 because they jump scared me and I killed them. And then you know, but yeah, like none of my friends really played games other than like NFL 2K1, NFL 2K2, NFL 2K7. NFL Blitz was fucking
Blitz, of course,
was sick as fuck.
Of course.
Oh god damn.
Yep.
I want to go back and you know what we need to remember. It won't make us feel any better, but it's an interesting thing to consider. 10 years from now, we will look back on these days and be nostalgic and yearn for them.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean I don't know how that doesn't make me feel better.
Yeah.
It actually makes me feel worse.
Yeah.
But that's just the way it is. Like, just don't forget that.
Yeah, dude. We'll all long for what it was like to be outside of the metaverse again. You know what I mean? Like, we'll forget what that feels like.
We'll all just have our fucking goggles on, drooling with our catheters and our fucking feeding tubes.
Yep.
Just talking to Mark Zuckerberg or whatever the fuck.
Trying to remember what it was like.
I remember what it was like to feel flesh bodies with my flesh hands. Because I'm a flesh boy.
Flesh bodies with my flesh hands. Yep. Well, that's you know, I couldn't think of a better way to end the 100th episode than flesh
of
bodies.
The Fleshcast.
And God.
I think this is episode number 100 of the Fleshcast. Or wait, what was the Creamcast?
Creamcast. There's been
the Flesh Creamcast.
Stop. Man, if you made it this far, comment in the YouTube video. Fleshcast.
Yeah, if you made it this far into the video, leave a comment as to what we were going to read all your comments, and we would love it if you told us what was your favorite retro game growing up. What do you remember growing up again? Leave your comments.
But for real though, comment for the algorithm.
It's amazing we've managed to go 100 episodes without a single sponsor.
Yep.
Let's use your Twitch Primes. Please. Please, God.
Please, God.
Please, God. I've got bills to pay.
Sponsor the Fleshcast is sponsored by the Fleshlight.
Okay, wait a minute. It wasn't explicit until you said that, and now I think what's past the explicit tag? What's beyond
Just
that?
Beyond explicit.
NC-17
Yeah.
cast.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for coming. Thanks for hanging. Thanks for being a part of the podcast. It was actually super funny to like reminisce at the beginning about like the beginning of the podcast. It's crazy. We've been doing this for 2 years, dude. That is nuts. That's a long freaking time.
Yeah, man. And you know what? I've looked forward to it every single week. Not once have I ever been like, I don't want to. There have been days where I'm like, we shouldn't do it.
We shouldn't do it, yeah.
We shouldn't because I'm fucking salty or whatever, or we were busy, but I've never been like, I don't want to do it. This has just been fucking, it's been rad, dude. It's my therapy. Like,
dude, yeah, bro. It's like, it has been, it's always been fun. It's always been fun. And like we said, the fact that, we say it all the time, the fact that you guys dig it, the fact like how much love we get, how much people, hey, I love the podcast, and like watching on YouTube and stuff like that, like it's pretty wild. So thank you guys. Thank you for making this what it is. And yeah, dude, we're just going to keep molding about Tarkov for a few more years, and then, see what else we can mold about maybe one day. Maybe we'll be molding about Marauders or Battlebit. Yo, we should.
Soon it's going to be like Social Security is really expensive, and
yeah.
I can't get my gout medicine via Amazon Pharmacy anymore.
Yeah, my dentures are almost done. They're on the way. Yep. But thank you guys for hanging. Appreciate it. As per usual, this will be live on all the platforms, YouTube and podcast platforms early next week. Yeah. Thanks for hanging. Thanks for 100 episodes, and we'll definitely see y'all on the next one.
Peace.